Hey guys, Tokaraka here, welcome back to another Age of Empires 2 video. Here on the top right, we have Daniel playing as the Indians, and on the bottom left, we have JorDan playing as the Vikings. So this is a game that I watched a while ago, but I didn't actually see what happened in the early game, so I decided to save this because I thought it was a really cool showcase of how you can play Indians in this matchup. I guess how you can play Vikings as well. They were both played, I'd say, optimally, and I think it was a really solid game that has a lot of action. Daniel's map, backward line, back gold. He can kind of wall here. This isn't amazing, but it's fairly nice if he does wall there. Main gold is not in a great spot. This secondary stone will probably just act more as a wall off than anything. And his main stone is also forward, so he'll probably end up walling the entire front side, but it's going to be kind of annoying for him to do that. And then the right side, the top side here, or left, or whatever you want to call it, is also quite difficult to wall since there's a lot of open space, so generally not the best map for Daniel. JorDan, on the other hand, well, he has a nice backward line here, he has a back stone, he has a back gold, he can easily just kind of wall to the TC here. Front berries, which is not so good, and his two secondary golds are out the front here, and this one's actually on the hill, so along with the secondary gold, this is not looking too good for him. He has ostriches at the back, he can easily lure these. So what do we expect from these matchups? Indians tend to go scouts, because they are primarily a cavalry civilization, but they can also go for men-at-arms. They could go drush if they want to. They have an economy bonus in Dark Age, which is actually more than can be said for most civilizations in the game, since most civilizations, their economy bonuses only apply once Feudal Age is reached, or once you start making, like Teuton's bonus, it applies once you start making farms, which usually only applies either on your way up to Feudal, or when you're actually in Feudal Age, unless you're going for a fast castle. And JorDan, he's Vikings. Vikings are a civilization with one of the best economies in the game, but wheelbarrow and handcart upgrades free, wheelbarrow and handcart, Feudal Age and Castle Age. So Vikings actually probably have a weaker drush than Indians, all things considered, because Indians save the food on the villagers. I always get annoyed when they don't put villagers inside this little hole here and build the mill there for maximum efficiency, but this is better from a sort of practical standpoint because the villagers are closer to the town center. If he puts the mill on the other side, then it takes them longer to get back to the TC. It's harder for him to sort of reinforce, because if men-at-arms comes in, he can easily just walk back into the town center range in this position. This villager cannot, but neither can any villager that would be over here if the mill was on this right side. The reason I'm talking about menial details like this is because there's really nothing going on at the moment. As we can see, JorDan, 4 villagers on wood. Vikings generally tend to go for men-at-arms rushes. They can also go for drush or straight archers, but men-at-arms is quite strong as them, especially since they have plus 5 HP on their men-at-arms, 50 HP, because they are an infantry civ at heart. I mean, they're pretty much just an infantry civ, but like in competitive play, they're mainly played as an archer civ, because you don't want to make long swordsmen in Castle Age unless you are playing against eagles from a Meso civ. Or maybe if you're playing against Indians. And he actually is playing against Indians, so because Indians don't get knights, and they also don't get arbalest. So you could arguably go for infantry in this matchup. Indians do tend to struggle against infantry civs, particularly Goths. Indians are awful against Goths. Vikings, though, Vikings rely a lot on their archers, and Indians now in the I think 2 or 3 patches ago get this lovely bonus: stable units +1 pierce armor in Castle/Imperial Age. So the light cavalry will have +1 pierce armor in Castle Age, and in Imperial Age they do get +2, but that basically just acts as free plate barding armor, which is a nice bonus. It's very good for early Imperial Age, but it does mean that they fall off in mid to late Imperial Age because you don't have that extra 3 melee armor from actually researching plate barding armor. They only get the pierce armor from that. Daniel's going for a 20 pop straight archers. Looks like straight archers. And JorDan, Definitely men at arms. He's already making militia. This is extremely standard for Vikings. But Daniel's doing something arguably less meta, because straight archers isn't as common as scouts. Here we can see Daniel is going to be forced to run away with the scout cavalry here, because he cannot fight JorDan's scout when there are militia around too. But he is going to track these guys. He wants to keep an eye on these militia, make sure that he has full awareness of where the military is. I think JorDan was trying to trap Daniel's scout there, but Daniel's not having it. Now Daniel's feudal age, and he can arguably get some free hits on these guys with his feudal age advantage. That's why going up on 20 pop with the Civilite Indians can be so strong, since you do get to feudal age sooner, and that gives you the +2 attack and extra speed on the scout. But now JorDan is also feudal age, and they have equal HP. And now the militia trying to go into the berries, they cannot. Daniel has walled this. Daniel is also going to wall his berries, and he's gonna have to wall his. Yep. Okay. Oh, he's not gonna wall this in time, is he? Nope. This is extremely bad for him. He probably will not lose a villager, but hold on. Is he gonna lose a vill? Okay, no. There's no way JorDan kills that villager. JorDan causes a lot of idle time, but he does also lose a lot of HP on his units, and he is forced to run back there. Oh, Daniel's going out with his villagers again, but he still won't lose any of them. Loses a bit of HP on this guy, but his town center's close enough to the wood. Man, he has two. Okay, he's fixed all of his idols, but this men-at-arms rush is causing him a lot of damage. And this is the trouble with going for straight archers, because you don't have the military initially like you do when you're going for men-at-arms or even scouts, because scouts are better in low numbers than archers. A single archer, not very strong. In fact, this single archer is actually going to die. So JorDan taking good initiative there, not just running away with his men-at-arms. And that could be a dead villager. Is it going to be a dead vill? Is it going to be? No, but it's going to be 2 dead men-at-arms and probably a dead scout too, because Daniel has his scout here at 19 HP. JorDan's scout's only at 2. And he has an archer to deal with the man-at-arms. So now Daniel's in a fine position. Free hit on the scout, but Daniel does more than JorDan does, and JorDan's just going to flee with the scout back to his own base. And as you can see, the way that he's walling seems good. He's taking ostriches from the back. He's building a blacksmith here on the left. I think he long distance took this ostrich, and it was really inefficient. Oh, Daniel, don't lose your scout. 5 HP versus 2 HP. That's actually 1 hit for both. So the fact that a 2 HP is lower than 5 HP does not matter against scouts, because it's still just 1 hit. And you can't have half hits or decimal hits in this game. You can have decimal values for the amount of damage, but you can't have decimal values for the amount of hits required to kill, you know. Okay, JorDan going to actually probably lose all 3 of these archers. He doesn't even get a... Okay, he gets 1 kill, and he's going to lose all of them. So now Daniel in a superb position with much more military. He has 7 military on the field. He is down a villager. He's down 2 villagers, actually. He must have had idle TC. Okay, he's down basically 1 villager. And that's not what you want, especially since JorDan, he's Vikings. He already has extra villagers compared to the opponent once the opponent wants to get wheelbarrow. Oh, JorDan's still keeping his scout alive. Daniel not being able to snipe that yet. And now Daniel has full map control. He did just lose a scout, but I didn't mention he added a stable. So it's archers and scouts versus JorDan, who's just going archers. And Daniel has a few skirms as well. Actually, he's not making any skirms. And Daniel's actually going heavy into feudal age here with the scouts and the skirms and the archers. JorDan, on the other hand, his economy is looking strong as hell. He's basically halfway up to castle age when it comes to food. We have a fight coming in here. Both of them lose 1 unit, but now Daniel might end up picking off, or at least getting some damage on an archer. He actually doesn't do either of those. sadly. But he did take JorDan off these berries, although, to be fair, they are only on 24 food now, so... JorDan is okay. He has his walls to hide behind. This is why Daniel adding scouts is not necessarily the best thing to do here. It does give him map control, but it doesn't allow him to actually do any damage, because scouts can't really break through walls, and archers from behind, skirmishers from behind, could just get dealt with by JorDan's own archers like this. So Daniel actually lost one archer there for free, and he might lose this skirmisher too if he's not careful. Okay, he's keeping it alive. And JorDan's fully walled. Started building a palisade here for some reason. These are 3 idle villagers, so this is kind of sloppy. That's why you kind of really want to use waypoints when it comes to taking deer or ostriches or whatever you call it. Okay, JorDan's not walling over here or up here. He's actually just walling towards his TC, so he's not going to bother with this top area at all, apart from taking these ostriches. And he's just going to wall towards his TC on the left here. And then he'll wall up at the top as well. He has his gold inside. This is the only thing that this would be ranged by is a tower. And holy shit, he is about to have 22 farmers. Well, 21, and then 1 villager left on the fruit bush. Looks like I'm a terrible caster, and I missed some kills there. JorDan must have got one on, I think, a skirmisher or an archer. Or 2. I think it might have also been a spearman? I'm not sure. I don't know why he'd make a spearman. It might have been JorDan that made the spear. Yeah, JorDan has a spearman here. JorDan scout just sitting here, nearly dying, but Daniel did not find him. Daniel loses a skirmisher. JorDan is moving out with his archer force. Daniel basically just finished walling. He still doesn't have this top side walled, but JorDan would have to go all the way around in order to catch Daniel off guard here, and that's definitely not what he's doing. He's going to move to the place where you expect him to, and Daniel with the +1 armor on the scouts, he is going to engage this, and he also has bloodlines, so he should win that fight. 6 scouts versus 10 archers. The scouts definitely should win. JorDan is Castle Age, and he's getting a crossbowman now, but he's not able to actually do anything with these archers because he's losing them all. He now has only 6, now he has only 5. Those scouts are doing work. And since Daniel's now also Castle Age, he gets the immediate +1 pierce armor. This is a cleanup for him. Indians, of course, don't get knights. So if you're going to go for cavalry like this, and you're not going for camels, you have to go light cavalry. It's the only real unit you have. The only good, stable unit you have. JorDan's making some more spears, and he's making more crossbows. But he's actually either forgotten bodkin arrow, or just can't afford it for now. Daniel looking for some damage here. Light cavalry upgrade in. That's a sick upgrade. It gives +15 HP and +2 attack. It does make you move slightly slower, but that's the only thing that's relevant for is scouts chasing down light cavalry, which is possible. JorDan with 4 spearmen in front. Light cavalry are not nearly as strong as knights against melee units, so spearmen will suffice. You don't need pikemen. And Daniel just not going to bother engaging there. Once Daniel gets chain barding armor, he might be able to take a fight here. Because JorDan has a very small military force. 4 spears, and then only 7 crossbows, versus 6, which is now about to be 8 light cavalry. I think the light cavalry would win that. Equal villager counts for now. Daniel has 2 TCs, and he's building a 3rd one on this wood line. It's quite forward. It's in a good spot. Daniel is preemptively moving his villagers to the other wood line. JorDan is not going to get any damage here, apart from trying to break through here. JorDan, 3 TC. He has wheelbarrow, of course, because he has handcart, of course, because he is the Vikings. And Daniel doesn't even have wheelbarrow yet. So, despite the fact that he has cheaper villagers, he should still be at a disadvantage economically compared to JorDan. This palisade wall will most likely die. Daniel, he added a siege workshop. He's going for Scorpion's defense. These guys are obviously very, very, very good against spearmen. And he's going to get a couple hits. Those are some nice shots. Those are some more nice shots. Scorpions kill basically all of this. And Daniel, well, he doesn't want to waste any of his light cav numbers, even with the +3 pierce armor, and the fact that JorDan didn't even bother to get Bodkin arrow yet. JorDan probably just doesn't think he can do any damage with Bodkin arrow here, or he thinks that he has it and he doesn't actually have it. Scorpions actually miss all their shots here, but they'll force JorDan's army away. Daniel's light cav not gonna do much at the moment, unless he does pounce on this. He tried to earlier, but then he left just because of the spearmen. Oh, JorDan is investing into these guys, so the lack of Bodkin arrow here is actually really bad, and I'm not sure if Daniel even sees that JorDan doesn't have Bodkin. Daniel has now added a mangonel. Daniel has 5 villagers queued in 1 TC and 0 villagers queued in another, which is sloppy, but it can happen to all of us. Okay, now he's fixed it. He's getting heavy plow. He is going to clear up those spearmen. I'm not sure why JorDan didn't just engage there. Okay, yeah, he's retreating to the hill. It makes sense, but he did lose 2 spearmen in the process. So JorDan with 21 crossbows versus 11 light cav from Daniel. He's, well, will he be able to hold without Bodkin here? Because he's doing 1 damage per hit to the light cavalry. Camel coming out for Daniel, that's probably a misclick. JorDan gonna get a couple hits on this mangonel. Scout does eventually die. That was the old hero scout that I was talking about earlier. I mean, it wasn't really a hero, but generally when something survives for a long time and I'm focusing on that unit multiple times during the game, it's kind of considered a hero unit. JorDan's actually added a monk, which is just to heal up his crossbows, because he wants to keep these guys alive. He's about to click Imperial Age. Once he gets the castle up, he will most definitely click. In fact, he already clicked, because he has the monastery and the siege workshop. So potentially the monastery was just alongside the siege workshop to click up to Imp, but he's using his free handcart bonus to go Imp extremely quickly, while also having only 1 less villager right now. So Daniel, well, he's about halfway to Imperial Age, but he's much slower than JorDan is. JorDan, he has to get Bodkin arrow at some point, right? You'd think he'd have it already, but at the same time, he hasn't actually taken any important fights where he's lost army, apart from losing a couple spearmen. So really, the lack of Bodkin arrow really just allowed him to click up to Imperial Age faster. So it could actually be a good choice. And now he's getting Bodkin arrow. Daniel's going to try and come and raid. He's going to pick off a mangonel. Then he's going to run away. So he basically just killed a mangonel. And, like, for free. And he has all the map control right now. This forward siege, the 3 mangonels, prevent JorDan from ever expanding outwards. Until JorDan does get Imperial Age and get Bracer and Arbalest. Or just Bracer. Castle gets a couple of shots on the mangonels, but not enough to kill him. Daniel still trying to roam around with his light cav here. Only just getting husbandry. It's kind of important. Lacking that upgrade is not the best. He loses a scorpion to a mangonel here. Didn't really get any value out of that scorpion. JorDan with his monk. Well, monks take a long time to convert light cav. Oh, that's 1 mangonel for 2 mangonels. Good shot from Daniel. I mean, good shot from JorDan, sorry. That's definitely not a good shot for Daniel. He just lost 2 mangonels and only killed 1. Imperial Age, Bracer, Ballistics, which is very late, but he invested so much into getting Imperial Age fast. He wants this power spike. And he... Well, is he going to get Chemistry or is he going to get Arbalest? I'd say Arbalest is probably a more important upgrade. It gives +1 attack and 5 more HP, whereas Chemistry only gives +1 attack, and it also takes much longer to research. He is now going to easily snipe the Scorpions and the Mangonels. That is a shot that kills 3 crossbows there. So Daniel won't be too unhappy with that Mangonel. Looks like he killed some, he killed some of JorDan's vills. So JorDan was sending some villagers to go to stone here, and he lost those villagers because of Daniel's light cav roaming around here. JorDan actually runs into Daniel's light cav, but he has bracer, so. Daniel now, though, he has 6 pierce armor. This is 8 attacks, so that's only 2 damage per hit. So this is the advantage of the Indian's bonus I was telling you. He can immediately just get Blast Furnace, since he basically already has plate barding armor, and he can get Hussar. So he could engage this soon. JorDan does now have Arbalest, but still no chemistry. He has a lot of Hussar on the field. And he's actually going to get a couple hits on the Berserk. Conversion coming in on a probably a Hussar. Okay, no, never mind, he didn't get anything. Clearing up the Berserks, clearing up some villages. He's microing around the Arbalest here. Honestly, he could take a fight for the Arbalest. I know he doesn't want to because there is a castle here. The castle's producing Berserks, but these guys only have +1 armor. They're not elite, so they're quite weak. He doesn't have chieftains either. And these Hussars actually getting a lot of eco damage done. JorDan is down 3 villagers. And I think he's going to lose some more. The Berserks shouldn't be enough to clean this up. He only has 3 of them. And there are 8 Hussars here for Daniel. So that's definitely going to be a few dead villagers. JorDan's now down to 101. And, oh man, Daniel's actually in here. And he's not going to build the TC, but he is going to continue. Well, he has control of this area. He can send the Hussars back whenever he wants. He has more Hussars roaming around here. He's actually going for more Scorpions, which is a strange play since Indians don't get heavy Scorpion. They do get Siege Engineers and Chemistry, of course, but lack of heavy Scorpion means that making a lot of these guys in Imperial Age doesn't make too much sense. Yeah, he's actually going two Siege Workshop Scorpions. They are very good against Berserks, even if they're not heavy Scorpions, but it's a surprise to me to see him do this instead of heavy Cav Archer or something else. But it does make sense. He could also go hand cannon. Is there going to be conversion on a Hussar here? Yes, there is. So Hussar actually got converted. These guys take 10 trillion years to convert, but he had 10 trillion years. And now, Daniel in with a Trebuchet. He has a castle here to defend his eco. He can make a Trebuchet out of this. So this town center's going to die, and all the villages in it. JorDan down to below 100 villagers right now. 125 vills from Daniel. So yeah, 125 vills to 95 vills is a pretty stark difference. Actually, 126 to 94. Daniel still has 3 Hussars down here, which won't get anything done until there's an overchop, which there might be soon. So he might be waiting for the moment. He's ready. Daniel actually has 8 Scorpions. And these guys do quite a lot of damage to bunched up units. And now, Onager upgrade. And Siege Engineers. Sorry about the snivel. Daniel has full control. Can JorDan defend against this? Because I feel like the Berserks... Well, if JorDan eventually ends up getting the elite upgrade, which it looks like he is saving up for, these guys will be very, 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 very strong. Especially against Indians, since Indians don't really have any anti-infantry options apart from hand cannons. They don't have heavy Scorpion, as I said. They have heavy Cav Archer, but that takes a long time to tech into. They don't have Arbalest. But Daniel's getting a lot of raiding in here and forcing JorDan to come back with pretty much all of his army. That's so many dead vills. 91 villages now for JorDan. 136 for Daniel. And here we're going to have a push. Daniel's coming forward with a Trebuchet. He has 8 Scorpions on the hill. He has an Onager. He has Siege Engineers. The Hussars do all die, but the economy damage has been done. 136 vills compared to 92. That is insane. JorDan is now coming with a castle, but oh boy, he stonewalled this. He did not stonewall this side. He wants this castle here to prevent Daniel from coming in to his economy, but really, he should have just stonewalled, because this castle is going to get denied. And this is really bad, because he's going to need to send back everything to deal with these hussars. And he stonewalled here, but he didn't stonewall here, so he's actually... The stonewalls do nothing. He actually had to delete a tile so he could send his villagers back. And send his... Oh no! The gate was open too! He's just going to lose more and more and more vills. He's only at 95 right now. He is constantly producing, but... He's going to lose more. He's going to lose them faster than he can create them. And Daniel's actually going to come in and kill this palisade gate with hussars. JorDan might build a gate of his own. Nope, he will not. And 93 vills. That number's just going down and down. And 4 trebuchets. Some of them are on the hill. Actually, no. Oh, man. Those onagers just annihilated those berserks. And they get a big shot on the arbalests as well. The scorpions finally have chemistry. It does give them +1 attack. The berserks still lacking the elite upgrade. Lacking chieftains. They're going to fight here. Scorpions are going to kill these guys. Everything's going to die. The hussars do die, but... JorDan realizes the castle's gone, and therefore the onagers can advance forward. And Daniel's also destroying JorDan's entire economy, down to 74 villages. And it is a GG. So, amazing performance from Daniel. Kind of a, not a Titanic game from JorDan necessarily, but definitely a weaker play. He never really had control of the game. He never really had anything to deal with the hussar raids. He lost so many villagers. He eventually did get this castle up, but it was too late. He's basically half the village count now. He has 41 idols, he has less military, and less population efficient military as well, so... Definitely good to call it. Timeline here. Huge population and lead for Daniel at this exact point. Much more villagers. Over double the kills. Way more resources collected except for gold. JorDan's only advantage was the faster Imperial Age, but he wasn't able to do anything with it. Because he couldn't afford Arbalest early, since his economy got harassed, and he did Imperial Age so early. Chemistry took a while, obviously, as it does. And he didn't have any siege, or forward castle, or anything to actually leverage his faster Imperial Age. So, GG. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Take care.